entrepreneurs, and visionaries. Welcome to another Monday Night Live training, where your journey to business success accelerates. Join us for insights, strategies, and tools to elevate your business while keeping your budget in mind. It's time to transform your passion into profit. Your host, Corey von Bill Foster, is about to take the stage. Get ready to be inspired and empowered. The future of your business starts now.
All right. Okay, we did. Y'all, we got to celebrate these wins. Oh, it's good to be back. Let me glance, make sure are we kind of centered? We're kind of centered. But woo, welcome back to another Monday Night Live. Your girl has been a little MIA, little bit, kind of, sort of. I've been MIA to doing lives. I've been dealing with some severe visual BS. that's the only way I can say it. It's been a mess. For those of you who've been in the iRock ecosystem for a while, you know that I have a rare eye condition, and it's been cutting up lately. So I haven't felt up to doing my lives. I've still been working. Thank God for my team. Shout outs to you guys, because without the team, your girl would have been done for. Put a fork in it, would have been over. But thankfully, the team is in place. So we were able to still do the business work, but I haven't been as visible lately. So sorry for that if you have missed these Monday Night Lives. My assistant even asked me today, is like, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? And I was like, I'm going to do it. I didn't know how it was going to go, and I still don't know how it's going to go. But you know what? I want to show up. And also shout outs to Sade Wadu. I love look, she don't even know me. We've met a couple of times. We have some mutuals, but she always inspires me. If you don't know her, she is that girl, especially around events and things like that. But the reason why I'm shouting her out today is because I still was not feeling up to be doing any lives. And the reason for that is you guys know, as business owners, you want to put your best foot forward. You want people to see you the way, that shows you off the best, right? The most polished versions of you. And if you want to show a less polished version, you still want to have control over what folks see, right? That's just human nature. That's just good business, right? We're not trying to be, out here looking any kind of which way. And because my eyesight has been so poorly, literally, guys, I cannot see myself. And so I have been really struggling with the fact that if I can't see myself, I can't ensure that I look the way that I want to look. And so I haven't been, feeling great. And the reason why, let me go back to why I'm shouting out Sade Wadu. First of all, again, she's that girl. She always looks amazing. But one thing that I thought about today was the fact that even though she's usually very polished, her work is done in such excellence that she shows up as her best self. One thing that I do love about watching her content is she's not always makeup full, outfit perfect, because she's recording at the airport, she's recording wherever she is, she's on the go, and it doesn't stop her. And so today I was like, you know what? We're going to put on a little powder. Hope it looks good, y'all. We're going to put on a little lip gloss. We're going to throw on something that resembles eyebrows, and we're going to just do it. Because I really didn't want another Monday to go by and me not show up, whether I'm the best version of myself or not. Because y'all can still get the information. Like, I could be here in a robe and slippers, and you still will get great information. It's just an internal struggle. And I'm sure a lot of you have felt that, where you have, maybe an imposter syndrome, or you just aren't feeling like your best self, and you're just like, I want to show up, but I want to show up as my best self, so I'm not going to do it. It's like, no, do it. Do it with the imperfections. Do it no matter what. I might look crazy right now, y'all, and y'all just going to have to accept me for that. And hopefully, look, I hope my assistant saw my message. I realized, too, I thought I could be a big girl and do all this by myself, but I forgot to share it on Facebook. And Oh, I think she saw it. And I'm just unable to do it. So if you're not seeing this live, I will try to get it shared on all the platforms. I think we're streaming right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, and our Facebook business page. If you are not seeing this live on the Facebook, my Facebook profile, or in our Facebook private communities live, I do apologize. Your girl is trying. But at least we're here. And I promise it will get somehow shared to those other platforms. So yeah, shout outs to my team. Shout outs to Sade White, do that girl. She's absolutely amazing. And the thing about it too, guys, as business owners, it's important for you to show up because Sade, she may never see this. Just letting y'all know, if you know her, tag her so she can hear that I'm talking good things about her. But there are people out there watching you guys, and you don't even know, and you're like, should I show up? Should I not show up? And somebody is looking for you. They're needing what you have to say. So show up as your authentic self, y'all. Show up as who you are. Show up in the imperfections, but also, because I always say stuff like this, but also, if for your mental health you need to take breaks, take breaks. And I don't think I've actually ever said that in any capacity because I'm always like, go, 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 go. But I will say that it was hard the first Monday Night Live that I missed because I hadn't missed one in over 2.5 years since we started. Like I had done one every single Monday, kind of rain or shine, no matter what. And I prided myself in that. And then when I had to decide to take a Monday off, it was hard. But then I had to remember, like, also, guys, we are human. And sometimes we have to put ourselves first, our family first, our mental health first. And so also give yourself grace, right? You get this from me one time because everybody know I'd be like, I'm not your mindset girly. Like I'm big on like, let's push through. But thank you to my accountability partners for saying like, it's all right. It's all right. The world's not going to crumble. Your business isn't going to disappear because you are unable to do a free live. Like it ain't like it's a paid event. So sometimes we gotta put stuff into perspective and give ourselves grace. So I gave you that. That's your mindset tip for the year. All right, so let's get into it, y'all, because this is not here to be me on a soapbox. This is me giving you the tea. So for those of you who, again, may be new to the iRock ecosystem, I probably start mentioning strategic planning probably around like October of every year. I'm like, as soon as the fourth quarter hits, I'm like, are you planning for the next year? And it's not to say give up on the things you're doing and kind of throw in the towel. It's like while you're doing and implementing your fourth quarter as planned, because you should already planned it. We're not planning while we're doing it. We're planning before, right? We want to build a plane and then fly in it, if at all possible. So your fourth quarter should have been planned. While you are executing your fourth quarter, I'm always like strategic plan, get plans in place so that you can then hit the ground rolling successfully on January 1. A lot of people wait till January 1. They like to say they're going to take December off. They're going to take a break. They're going to reset, refresh, all that fun stuff. And there's a time and place for that. But what that does to a lot of people is it makes them lose out on the whole of January. Because if you wait to the 1st, then you're really planning next year, right? So January, you've now taken your break, you've reset, refreshed it, all that. And then you go into January like, oh my God, I'm behind the ball. And now you're rushing, trying to get things together. And you're having to then plan everything. So then a lot of people are like, well, dang, I didn't miss out on January. Now you feel defeated before the year even really gets up and running. And so I encourage you, if your business runs on a calendar year, the fourth quarter, you should be strategic planning. And it's not too late to plan in December. So don't feel like, oh, it's too late now. I should have started in October. That's why we're talking about it now. So in that same vein, that's kind of what this month is going to be about as we go through our Monday Night Lives. And tonight we're going to start with reflection, because I think that before you can move forward, you really have to understand where you are and what happened and why, right? I really want you guys to be informed business owners, right? Making decisions because you have the data to support it. And the only way to get that data and to use that data is to reflect and really look at what has taken place. Where am I at now? Where have I been? So that you then know how to plot your course forward, right? Because that's why a lot of people run in circles, because they won't stop and take an honest look at where they are and where they've been. And so they just keep repeating themselves, right? They're kind of on that hamster wheel. We don't want that for you. So tonight we're going to talk about reflections for success. We're going to look at what worked in 2025, and what didn't work in 2025. And we're going to try to open up your minds to having some real conversations with yourself, with your team, prior to you taking the step to start your strategic planning and then moving forward in your business. But before we do all that, I'm Corey Fonville Foster, because I was going to introduce myself. I'm Corey Fonville Foster. I'm a speaker, trainer. I'm a business coach specializing in all things business implementation. That is right, getting things done in your business. And I'm also the CEO of iRock Marketable Business Solutions, which is a small business marketing firm based out of Virginia, servicing coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, and other small business owners from coast to coast and up into Canada. So if you are someone who needs support getting things done in your business, I suggest that you stay tuned because we have some really cool things for you. I'll talk about some things at the end of tonight's talk as well, where you can get some support with your strategic planning. But we got a lot of cool things planned for you guys next year. So definitely tap in, stay connected, because you do not want to miss out on the support that we're going to be providing you in the new year. Also, if you are doing your strategic planning right now and you're like, oh, I need some things. I need a new website. I need an updated logo. I need to get my funnels together. I need email campaigns. I need leads. Reach out. Our small business marketing firm has done for you services. We have some really good holiday deals going on right now. Too many to kind of talk about, but reach out to us. Book a free consultation call. Let's talk about what you need. Let me get you some quotes so that you can get that stuff done. So when you go into January 1, you are ready to go. All right. So let's get back to it. Reflections for success. What works and what didn't work for you in 2025? Like I said, it's really important for you to take this step and be honest, right? Some of us like to fake the funk a little bit. I call it lying to yourself, but we're going to be nice, faking the funk a little bit. And you want to just kind of pretend that everything's okay. Or maybe you're on the other side of that, where you're a glass half empty type of person where, you know, you're kind of just feeling like, oh, I didn't hit my big goal, so the year was a bust, right? Neither one of those things is going to help you. So we're going to kind of break it down step by step to help put a little order to things so we can take a true snapshot of what happened this year. So again, we're going to look at what worked, what didn't work. We're going to look at why. We're going to look at what your goals really were. And we're going to clarify kind of what happened so that we can get the information to move forward. So the first thing I want you guys to think about is, what was your goals, right? What were your goals for 2025? And not just the big end of year goals, not just the revenue goals, but what did you want to accomplish, right? Because I know y'all had them New Year's resolutions and you had them SMART goals and all the things when it came to your business, right? And maybe there's some personal overlap. What were some of your goals? Were your goals to, you know, be more consistent on social media? Were your goals to have a certain revenue come in? Were your goals to service so many clients? Were your goals to get a coach, right? To get a brick and mortar business up, to actually email the people on your email list, to have an event? What were some of the goals, big and small, that you had in your business, right? And I suggest you write them down if you don't have them someplace already. Write down your goals, especially your yearly, your quarterly, your monthly goals. Any things that you wanted to actually do throughout the year. And again, it doesn't have to be this big revenue thing. Granted, yes, you can put it on the list, but think really hard about the things that you really wanted to accomplish throughout the year. And when you do write them down, go ahead and mark, what did you actually accomplish, right? Let's celebrate the wins. Let's be like, okay, I did this, and this. Because believe it or not, I find that we actually achieved a lot more than we give ourselves credit for, right? And I've talked about this before. 2025, I use what's called a big ass calendar. Sorry for the wording, but that's what it's called. You can look it up online, and it's a calendar that you can like mount, and you can use like a Sharpie on it. I never take a picture, I'd be forgetting, but I literally was marking, and I kind of got out of it when my eyes started getting jacked up, but I'm still going to go back and fill it in because I saved, I can roll it back up and kind of save it as a memory thing for later. I can't think of the word, but on the calendar, I marked every time I got a new client. I marked I should say every time I got a new client, every time I got like a bigger contract client, And then I also marked like when those people paid because it was nice to see those payments come in. I also noted whenever I had like a speaking engagement, whether it was in person, virtual, even like podcast appearances, because that was like a big goal of mine. There were a few other goals. They're in like different colors, but that is like a way for me to quickly visually see what worked. I will say that is not my favorite way to remember the goals. I was trying it this year. I had never done it before, but the previous year, 2024, was probably my favorite year. And I'm looking around, but I don't think I have it out around me. But I was gifted a wins jar. It literally says wins on it. And I had these, let me see, I think I got them in here. I if I can grab my hands on them, but might not be able to. Do I have it? Oh, there we go. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. Let me kind of try to hold it up. I think because I have a background on, you can't see it. But these are like little note cards. One of my good friends put my name on them. And I literally wrote every time I had a win, I would write it down. So a new client, I had a revenue goal, any of my goals that I set for myself, I would write it down and I would put it in the jar. And my goal for myself, outside of just all the goals, was that by the end of the year, it would be hard to close the lid of the jar. And if you guys remember, at the end of 2024, it indeed was hard. The jar was very full, and it was so great to be able to see that I had so many wins. Because in my mind, again, if I just kind of guess, I'm like, well, I guess we got a few things done, but did we hit the big goal? And if I didn't, I'd be like, oh. And so that allowed me to be like, realistically, you hit a lot of goals because this jar is full, whether you hit that big goal or not. So I encourage you to find a way that works for you to really put your goals into a visual space so that you can see what you're doing. If it's a revenue goal, maybe make a revenue thermometer, right? You remember like in churches when they trying to like fundraise for money, they had a little thermometer and you can, color it in. Whatever little tracker you want to use, but have a visual representation moving forward of your goals. But if not, if you don't have one already, again, just write down what your 2025 goals were, and then just mark through the ones you actually accomplished, right? And I would even go as far as to say like how you felt, if anybody helped you, like it just helps you remember, right, that this was a big deal to you, because obviously it was at some point because you made the goal, right? And then we have to be honest and kind of look at the flip side. Were there some goals that you didn't reach? We don't want to stop there. Don't get discouraged, because usually there's a reason that we didn't hit the goal. I want you, for any goals you didn't reach, to write why, right? Honestly, why didn't you hit the goal? Was it because life was happening? If life was happening, you can't write life was life. You gotta actually write like what happened, right? Did auntie get sick? Did grandma fall and break her hip? Did you have to relocate? Did you run out of cash flow, right? Did you do all you could do, but you didn't have the funds to invest in a coach to move you further, right? Like, why didn't you hit the goal that you were trying to get? And this is important when you start strategic planning, because then this allows you to put things in place the next time, right, to make sure that whatever messed you up doesn't happen again. And I'll give you a real life example. I just told you I'm having a really bad visual time, but my team has been able to keep us afloat. For those of you who've been with me and y'all ain't new to me, about 2-3 years ago, I had a big eye flare. And I about lost my mind. I think it was it's more than 2 years, because I think it was right before we started doing the Monday Night Lives, or somewhere maybe in the first year. But it was really bad because I was doing everything by myself. Like, I had an assistant, but I didn't have like SOPs in place. I didn't have systems in place. And so when I was down for weeks, I think maybe even months, I literally was like, the business is never going to recover. It's never going to recover. And after I did recover, I said, never again. Like, I realized that life was life in situation. I had to note that it was a real thing. It was also a real possibility it would happen in the future. And I said, well, what can we put in place so I never feel like that again? And it was like, get you a team. Like, even if you ain't got no full-time people, get some folks, make sure they're trained, and make sure that you can delegate to them. Like, it was a big deal. You must be able to delegate to these folks. And so this time around, while I'm still irked, right, because I can't do things the way I want to do it, now we don't have that issue. And this has actually happened. It probably happens like once a year where my eyes get real bad. And it happened last year too, and we were able to kind of get through it. So again, what worked? Yay, celebrated. What didn't work and why, right? And then we're going to take it a step further, right? Because some things might have worked, but you were just trained by it. You hated it, right? Because oftentimes when you're a new business owner, like you'll sell to anybody, right? People be like, who's your target audience? Anybody, right? And you sell to anybody. And a lot of that comes, I feel, from a scarcity mindset. You're like, you working so hard to get a client, you just like, hey, if they want to work with me, I'm gonna work with them, I'm gonna figure it out. And they're not always the dream clients. So I also want you to look at, as you're kind of reflecting on this past year, and say, what happened that it might have worked out, but I don't want to do that again. Right? I don't want to do that. I don't want to work with them people. I don't want to do that. And it's okay for you to say that. That's the beauty of being your own boss. You can decide who you want to work with. So yeah, say, I don't want to work with this type of person. I remember back in the day, I would work with any kind of business, right? I worked with candle makers. I worked with DJs, people with cookbooks. I'm just thinking of all the clients. I was like, and I would work with them. And, a lot of times, we did our thing. It was fine, but it was so not exciting to me. It did not feed my soul. It was always trying to customize for them because they didn't quite fit into what I was trying to do and where my business was going. And then they were also just hard clients to please. And so, you're going to get hard clients from, time to time, but it's like, if you can be a hard client, at least let me love what I'm doing, right? Maybe you're demanding, but let me love what I'm doing. And so, that was a big piece of my personal reflection. That's why I'm like, I don't just be working with everybody. I stick to my coaches, consultants, speakers, and authors, and every now and then somebody will kind of woo me, but I really, I really be like, let me make sure our vibes fit. Let me make sure they understand what I do, what I can't do, all the things. And then every now and then there's an exception, but usually the rule is speakers, coaches, consultants, speakers, and authors. And that's kind of it. So I want you to, like I said, really look at that. And it may not just be clientele. It could also be like what parts of the business drained you. Some of you might have actually been consistent on social media because that was one of your goals, but you hated every second of it. you hated every second of it. It was awful. That's okay. Note it, because again, when you strategic plan, you can say when it gets to the spot where you're like, what should I outsource? Those things that you absolutely hate, those things that drain the life out of you, that made you want to quit business every day, those are the things you want to outsource. And then also, when you're looking and reflecting on the year, you can look at things that you repeated over and over again, right? This is important because a lot of times business owners want to outsource, but they have no SOPs in place, right? Those standard operating procedures. And so this is a great time to look at what are those repeated tasks that you did over and over and over again that you had to kind of redo every time, right? Every time you did a proposal, you had to start from scratch. Every time you sent an invoice, you had to start from scratch. Every time that you made a post, you had to find a new template. It's just over and over. Every time you had an event, you started the process from scratch and you had to figure out what you were going to do, when you were going to do it, what's your timeline, all that fun stuff. Identify those repeatable tasks and put in place those SOPs. This is a great time. Use AI, use a friend, whomever. Start getting those SOPs done so that you don't have to start from scratch anymore, whether you're the person doing it or whether someone else is doing it for you, right? So those are things you want to reflect on. Also, dive into some tools, right? We're going to throw some tools in there, some software. This is something that my team does every single year without fail. I'm like, what can we get rid of, right? And so look at your softwares too, the things that you utilize to get business done, and say, how did these things work for me? Did I optimize them? What software have redundant things that they can do that other software is doing? Is there a software who will do it better? All those questions are important to ask. And I'll be really transparent. When we started our business, it wasn't at the very beginning, but when I started doing more coaching, we were using Thinkific, great tool for our courses, right? It's a great tool, but I found that it had a lot of limitations that I didn't like. Now they've updated since, but the cool thing about Thinkific back in the day, I don't think they have this anymore, is that you could put 3 courses on Thinkific for free, right? So you didn't have to pay them a dime. You could put the courses up there. People could still have their own little portal, sign in, do all the stuff. It was still, decently cute. And you could pay nothing, right? And then I think at the time they would charge you like a commission on all your sales. But then once you paid for, you paid the couple dollars a month, then you got to keep all of your money except for your swipe fees. So it was a really great beginner friendly platform for e-courses, but it had a lot of limitations, right? And I still recommend it to this day for newer people because it's very affordable. But we were using that software. We were using trying to think, we use Hootsuite for posting, because back in the day, Hootsuite would let you post a whole bunch of stuff for a little bit of money. Then they got greedy and changed what they were doing, and we moved from them. We were using MailChimp for a little bit, and then our email list got big. We used what was the other one? We used GetResponse is still my buddy, but we used GetResponse for a little bit until we decided to move over to Kajabi. Still, a lot of these tools I still love. Sometimes they change, and the time they changed what they were doing, it wasn't the best fit for us. And then we moved to something else, but we were in Kajabi for several years. Kajabi, we did our courses there, our website, emails, what else? Lead magnet funnels, all kind of things. And then now, we realize the business has grown so much, and because of, like I said, my eyesight and because of team, we're now moving to Go High Level. Because Go High Level has more all-in-one. And so it's easier for me to not have to try to navigate between different platforms and be able to see all my analytics in one place. And it also saves us money, right? Because, there's some pros and cons. Me and my team sat with it because there are some kind of up charges that we didn't always have to pay on other platforms, but it all equaled out for us. So it was the best fit for our team. But we wouldn't know that if we didn't analyze our platforms every single year, right? And so don't think that you have to use a tool that you saw somebody else use, because oftentimes they may be in a different place in their business. Think about what you have, right? Where you plan to go over the next 12 months. And don't be afraid to think like, oh, but I don't want to have to switch platforms. Yes, it's not fun to have to switch platforms, but I'd rather outgrow a platform than get a platform I'm not ready for and not be able to really use it. Right? There's no way, and I'm telling you this straight up, there's no way that the me of 5 years ago could have ever used the Go High Level. I don't even know if it existed then, but it was no way, right? The tech would be too hard. Even though they're offering all this stuff, I'd never be able to optimize it. I wouldn't even have been able to get Kajabi back in the day, because Kajabi is like $200 a month or $199, a month. And back in the day, I was trying to get $1,000 a month in revenue, right? So again, look at where you are in business. Look at what you're trying to do and find the platforms that are going to be best for you. And if you paid for platforms, optimize them. So look and say, okay, say you purchased Kajabi, but all you use it for is one course. You wasting your money unless that course is making you millions. All right. So get rid of the Wix website, put your website on Kajabi. Get rid of the ConvertKit or the Flow Desk, move your emails and landing pages and funnels to Kajabi. Right? That's what we got to do. We got to think about, like, heck, you got a podcast, move that to Kajabi. It does a lot of stuff. Like I said, I love the platform. It's just, eventually you outgrow things and you have to decide, what is best for you in your business moving forward based on where you are and what your needs are. And so that's something else that I really want you guys to look at. Also, take an audit of your team. Right? I can't remember who said it at our most recent Implementation Lab Live. They said the 2 T's, teams and tools, right? The tools are great, but if you don't have people that can do the work, you're not going to be able to optimize it. So look at your team. Someone once told me, be slow to hire and fast to fire, right? And it took me a long time to really let that be my business practice, because I would hire people and then get attached to folks and be like, well, I can teach them, we can grow together, we'll figure it out. And it would take me forever to be like, okay, this ain't working, right? And now I'm like, I'm a little cutthroat, because I'm like, but these are my expectations. I try to be real clear in the beginning. We have a really strong vetting process. And we're always updating it. And then at the end, I'm like, all right, well, we done told you, you got your warning. We try to give you some support and you don't. Right? 3 strikes, you're out type of thing. And so look at your team. I know some people, and I've worked with I've worked with clients where I'm like, hey, we got VAs, we can do this. And they're like, I got my VA, we've been together for a long time. I really, I'm gonna try to work with them. And it's like, you work with them all year. They had 365 days and you still can't get them to turn in email copy in a timely manner, right? They still fumbling the bag on everything you give them. They still aren't proactive with their work. Like, it's just no, 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 and no, right? And so, at what point are we going to say enough is enough, right? There are people who you can work with for a season who are great, but when you start to scale and grow, they cannot grow with you, right? We used to be like that. That used to be like an understanding of our business model. I used to literally tell people, like, hey, we're going to work with you until you're ready to have, outsource a team of your own, and then we'll hand you off to them. That literally was what I used to say to people because I was still kind of new and I knew it was just kind of me. I had a capacity and then I had an assistant, but literally I could only handle so much to a certain level. And so I would get people doing really, really well. They're hitting their six figures, and then it'd be like, I can't do no more. Here you go. And I lost some clients that I probably could never get back because they grew so big. And so now we don't do that no more. We have changed our model to grow with our clients. We have gotten to a point where when our clients, get bigger, we now manage their teams for them, so that we are able to stay in their ecosystems and grow and things like that, and manage bigger projects and things like that. We have big conversations throughout the year with our clients about where they want to go so that we are prepared to grow with them. And I think that that's a better business model, to keep that retention going and keep those strong client relationships going. So definitely look at who is on your team, have some real conversations about what you need from them. Me and my team met just today, and I was like, hey, we're moving to this new platform. We're going to expect you to put in this amount of time to understanding and learning it. We're going to do some, for certain individuals, we're going to do some one-on-ones with you to make sure you're ready. Because they're going to have to rise or be out. And that's just how it is. Because this is business, guys. This is business. I really do enjoy working with everyone on my team. Especially right now, we have a really good team. But if they aren't willing to grow with us, then unfortunately we have to find other individuals. And it's not a heart thing; it's just a real thing. So keep that in mind. All right. So let me just check my notes here, make sure I got everything. So so again, we're gonna talk a lot about strategic planning as we move through the rest of this month. And shout out to December. This is my birthday month, December 12th, 1988. Boo. I'm not ashamed of my age, but I'm super excited. Look, Sagittarius. So we're going to be talking a lot about strategic planning because I want you guys to be prepared. Now, how are we going to support you guys? One, come to these Monday Night Lives because we're going to be giving you some gems every single Monday completely free. Also, shout out to you guys who have already been joining our Wednesday webinar series. I shouldn't say series. We're doing the same talk every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to be at our next webinar, one, on Facebook and LinkedIn, there's an event tab. You can definitely join the event. I'll give you the link to the webinar. It is live, but you can also just comment webinar in the comments and we'll make sure we get you the link for our webinar. Again, it's every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about all the different pieces that you should include in your strategic plan. And some of you just need to know like what should be included. Now, for those of you who need a little bit more support, and let me put this on the screen. Let's see if I can do it. I think I can. There we go. For those of you who need more support, more hands-on, more thorough support, who are like, enough is enough. Right? That's how I've gotten in years. Like, enough is enough. We have a revenue roadmap 2-day intensive coming up in December. It's December 13th to 14th. It should be a Saturday and Sunday. We're doing 10 to 5. There's lots of breaks, but we are really diving into how to create a strategic plan. And I'm big on, once I teach you to fish, you're going to be able to fish on your own. So once you attend this, you will be able to do this process every year to create your strategic plan. And you can always come with us. I was telling someone recently, back when I was really trying to understand like how to plan out my life and my business, I would purchase a Cultivate What Matters planner. It's a really great planner. Shout out to them. Get you one. And every year I would buy it. And you would think, well, it's the same thing. Well, no, it's the same framework. However, every year they got better. And so we will offer this moving forward until I get sick of it every year in November and December. We had one in November. This is our December one that's coming up. But it's because doing it with somebody a lot of times will allow you a chance to ask questions, to brainstorm, to listen to other people's suggestions and have some insight that you may not have had if you would have did it on your own. So definitely join us. There's only 30 spots available. I don't even know if we have all 30 spots still available. I have to go look. But there's 30 seats. It's completely virtual. It's over 2 days. And when you leave, you will have a completed strategic plan. The perks of this, because we live in the beautiful age of AI, is that not only am I going to teach you about the different stages of the strategic plan and deep dive into what you should be including and give you examples, all that fun stuff, but I'm also going to teach you how to use AI to help you do these steps so that you can get it done in 2 days, because this used to take me multiple weeks, and we got it down to just 2 days. So 48 hours, it's done. And you will leave your workbook literally turns into your full strategic plan, where you can share with your team, you can share it with your coach, whomever, you can share pieces of it, the full thing, but it is a fully done document. And then we're also going to show you how to utilize this moving forward. It's way different. And I feel like people are like, well, I have a business plan. It's very different from a business plan. Your business plan is a living, breathing document that kind of outlines what your business is, especially if you're trying to get investors to invest in your business. The strategic plan is the actual map, right? The revenue map of how you're going to be successful, right? And if it ain't in there, then it really has to be something amazing that comes up to add it to it, right? And so it keeps you on track. And allows you to really look at the things that you know matter based on the data that you have, right? So I invite you to join us. If you want the link to the intensive, just put the word intensive in the chat. Also, you can go LinkedIn and Facebook in our events, and that information is there as well for you guys. So again, you got your Monday Night Lives, very free. We're going to talk a little bit about some things you should keep in mind as you plan for the new year. All December. I think we have like 5 Mondays in December. Then we have our Wednesday webinars, Wednesdays 5 p.m. Again, totally free. Take about an hour of your time. And then we have, if you're really ready to pull the trigger and get this thing done, we have one date left, December. I think it's 13th or 14th, 10 to 5. And so yes, you can join us, be in the virtual room, and get things done. You will also get the replay, but I do encourage you, if you get a ticket, to be present, because you're going to get more if you are in the room, versus if you just watch the replay and do it on your own. All right, that's what I got for you guys tonight. I hope this was helpful, informative, entertaining, right? Inspiring tonight. Remember to join us every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Monday Night Lives. Guys, Monday Night Lives are leaving at the end of the year. We have some cool new things coming. So don't worry, like, we still gonna have some fun stuff, but Monday Night Lives will be gone at the end of the year. So if you've been riding with us, come join us for the rest of the Monday so that you can enjoy the rest of the time that we are here doing these amazing talks. All right, guys, you have a great night. Let me look over here, see if I can do this by myself. All right, let's see. I'm gonna say my little outro. See, the problem is I can't see the cursor. Hold on, we almost there. Don't give up on me yet. Hold on. All right, hold on. We got a cursor. We got a cursor. Maybe. Well, y'all might not get a video tonight. I think I can just get over here. All right, we're gonna end it with again, thank you guys for coming. Remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock, and we gonna see you guys next time. All right.